Going to have a different broadcast this afternoon, and it's going to be about business. So, on Mayegun'S diary, apart from talking about politics and what is going on in Nigeria, we do also encourage. One sec, I'm going to bring some about the business opportunity that you can be part of, and at the same time help your finances from anywhere or any part of the world. So we'll be doing that in the next an hour, and then we'll be listening attentively, to my guest. His name is Stephen, and he's going to be part of us soon from the United States. So Stephen Akintayo Consulting will join us any minute from now. So please share the broadcast, invite your friends, learn one or two things about business. It's not just going to be about politics and politics and politics. Opportunity, abound, and only those who manage to see them surely get to use them. So, Mayegun'S diary, you will have the opportunity this afternoon. Good afternoon, my brother, sir.
Hey, how you doing, the
I'm
general?
all right, surviving. So it's good.
How was
It's
your
good.
how was your trip?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's good. It's good to see you again. If you can just help
Thank
position
you.
your camera so that we'll get to see your face boldly. Yeah, at the center. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
it's perfect now.
can you see it well this way?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I
good.
think so. You are welcome, Mr. Steven.
Thank you.
So this time around, we decided
Thank you.
to let them hear from you directly this time around without adding some other materials and all that. So we'll direct them to your website. This is going to be the part two of our last discussion. So
Yeah.
today, you said you're going to be taking us through estate management and then properties, is it properties management and all that, how you can build
Mm.
business opportunity in this area without having to go
Mm.
and break bank or before you can start. So let's start with you
Yeah.
quickly. Introduce yourself again for those who are seeing you for the first time, and then we start from where
Okay.
we stopped.
Okay, guys. Amazing. It's great to be here. My name is Stephen Akintayo. I'm the MD CEO of G Text Homes. And today again, the last time I was here, we looked at about 5 business opportunities you can do on the internet and make good income for yourself. So today we want to focus more on real estate. How can you go into real estate? How do you invest in real estate? And I'm going to be teaching about 6 ways to make money from real estate. Okay, 6 ways to make money from real estate. So the first one is, and if you guys are excited, come on, type I'm excited, and feel free to share this video
Yes.
with your loved ones, with as many people as possible. I love this platform because we always talk about politics, we always talk about making Nigeria better. But like I said the last time, we also need to talk about capacity development. Now, if you have not built a 3-bedroom apartment, how can you build a whole nation? How can you start doing railway construction, road construction as a governor, as a senator, as a president? There's a role of capacity development in all these things we're also talking about. And like I was saying the last time, not understanding the place of capacity development before going to politics is being one of the reasons why mediocrity continues. And I shared also how I believe that it's good for Nigerian youth to take over and to take Nigeria. However, many of us also need to build capacity. Some of us should start going into business. We should start doing things. I mentioned about MK Abiola, how why his candidacy was very much accepted, because that man was an entrepreneur, was a man who moved himself from zero to hero.
Mm.
Kola Abiola will tell you growing up how, MKO wasn't rich. Kola knew when they were not rich, when, he would have to take commercial bus, go and wait in his mother's office before they go home. Kola can relate those stories, right? Before Abiola was able to move himself to where he is today. So many of us are just talking politics. We must go into politics. We must do this. We should also talk about capacity development. How can I go into business? How can I experiment the ideas I want to use when I become a governor, a senator, in my little business, in my little endeavors, in my little enterprise. And that's why, General Mayegun has decided to have me on the show, and I really appreciate him for bringing me for the second time again. So let's go into 6 ways you can make money from real estate. The first one is you can buy a house. Okay, you can decide to buy a house, and when you buy a house and you leave it for a while, of course, maybe you live there. Years later, you can decide to sell the house, and that is one of the major ways to make money from real estate. Number 2 is to buy a rental property. Now, a rental property is different from buying a house. When you buy a house, you want to live in it. When you buy a rental property, the major goal is to rent it out. And this is one of the good ways to really, really make money from real estate. There are ways you can buy certain properties in a good place, even if you're outside Nigeria. It's even a lot easier to do this. You can buy condos and then get in a place where the amount you're going to be paying for the mortgage is lesser than what people will be paying you as rent. Okay, and those are the strategies you want to do. How can I get areas that are, very developed, very okay? I get in a mortgage and then start renting it out, making far more than what I need to pay for the mortgage, from that rental apartment. It's a fantastic one. And of course, in Nigeria too, is something you can do. But if you want to do this in Nigeria, you need to really do your calculation well. This works in service apartment. In Nigeria, it's better to do this in a service apartment structure. Else, you will not get your rent. In Nigeria, is different from US or UK.
That's right.
Where in Nigeria, you don't pay rent. You just go and use God to beg the person, or go and bring one elderly person, enjoy Shanu. And more rent. Out yeah. And then you beg the man, you may owe him rent for 2 years.
That's right.
But in developed country, that won't happen, right? But if you really want to do rental apartment in Nigeria, it works better in a service apartment. In the case of a service apartment, they are providing electricity, they're providing even some of the furnitures in the house. So
let's assume now that I living outside Nigeria and I'm interested in investing in properties in Nigeria, and with people like you who are ready to introduce me into which ones are going to be profitable. We know that estate business can be up, can be down, and you all know the time you target them and for all of them for different purposes as well. Like you said, for residence or for renter. So if someone like me from UK, for instance, I want to invest in real estate in Nigeria, what would be your advice, and what areas would you advise that I should look into, and what do I need to do? What does it take?
Yes, the area, thank you very much for your question. The area I would advise Nigerians in diaspora is I will not advise you to go into this number 1 or number 2. If you are outside Nigeria, I will advise you to go for number 3 and number 4. And I'm going to share
so you're going to tell us about the steps. Yeah, I've been hearing 1, 2, 3, 4 now.
Yes. So number 3 way to make money from real estate is to go into real estate investment. So there are companies who are in Nigeria or anywhere in the world who even, look at the Trump investment, for example. They have this investment program. You're able to invest with Donald Trump, and then you get a return. So the same thing happened to some real estate companies. You can partner with them and say, you know what, I have 5 million somewhere, I have 10 million somewhere, I have 15 million somewhere. How much can I give you, and then how much can you be paying me, maybe every 6 months or every year?
Like equity investment, so to say. You just join a company already. I mean, an already made company, real estate company.
Yes, this is like a trust. This is not like shares.
Okay.
This is like a trust investment. It's not like shares.
Please come clear.
You are just putting money. Yes, you agree on a return. Okay. So the company will agree with you. This is how much we will be giving you constant return on investment.
Okay.
But I always advise, if you want to go into this, deal with companies, real estate companies that can back it up with land. Because investment, there's no secure investment anywhere in the world. And sometimes we get deceived by this. You know, we Nigerians, we like guarantee. You know, even in developed countries, they would tell you that you should never tell anybody there's any form of guarantee in an investment, because it may work, it may not work. So what I advise is let them give you some assurance.
That is
for example,
risk
if
management.
they can't pay back your
you
money,
weigh your risk.
yes,
like, okay, if anything goes wrong, we share the risk. If it goes right,
we'll give you land. Yes. So they, you know, we have agreed we'll be giving you this amount of money every year as return. But if we cannot give you, we'll give you land equivalent for for that particular money that you have invested with them, which is even why such real estate trust investment is secure. Because at least if I can't get my cash, I can get land.
Do we have trust companies
then I can go and look for how I can get sell the
companies like that in Nigeria that or yourself, because this is your business, right? And
yes,
you are to give us recommendations,
we do that
reliable recommendations that people can look into. So
yes, we do that. We do that too. People, yes, we do that too. I wouldn't want to mention any company's name, so that at the end of
no,
it,
because
you know,
one thing we have to clear here, my brothers, what we have to clear here is that people need to know that you pay for this session. Mayegun is also making his own money.
Yes.
So which means,
yes,
you know, whatever you can, apart from giving us information on what to do, recommendations. At the same time, you should, you know, while you are here, is to tell us that, well, if you are looking for someone, like you don't even know how to go shopping, talk to me. I can help you. So that's why we are here. So
there are several other companies that do it. I just wouldn't mention names for the sake of, you know, so that you don't say you heard it from me.
The purpose of why we are here. You know, you don't give them free advert here, because you are not getting it for free.
Yeah, because you know, I love, you know, we Nigerians, we have this way of, it was you that told me to do it. Oh, imagine, remember how MMM worked, and rather than people doing their research to realize it was a high risk investment. How can a company be promising you 30% every month? It's not realistic, right? But a lot of people did it because they should do it, and at the end of the day, even when it went bad, they will now hold our brother and say, it was you that said I should do it. Or, you know, so sometimes when it comes to investment like this, I don't like mentioning names so that people don't say it was you that asked me to do it. You go do your research about companies. Yes, go do your research about companies that are doing this. Even me, if you want to do business with us, do your research about me. Google my name. I'm Stephen Akintayo. Go online, go to our website,
even on
read about
this broadcast as well.
Yes, go do your research, because it's important whenever we talk about people doing business, do your research about the people you want to do business with. Because a lot of times, many of us just go into investment, you know, with a blind eye, and we fail to realize that no matter what, you should do your investigation before doing any investment with anybody, even if the person is your brother or your auntie. Part of the investigation you need to do is to ask yourself, how sustainable is this investment opportunity? I tell people there are 3 levels of investment. Now that we're talking about the this particular cash investment opportunity you can do in real estate, there are 3 levels of investment: low risk investment, mid risk investment, and high risk investment. So any investment that is giving you between 0 to 7%, depending on the country you are investing in, is a low risk investment. Any investment from 10% to 15% is a mid risk investment. But once an investment crosses 20%, 25%, is already high risk, meaning you can lose all your money. And no matter, and I'm talking about annually now, and no matter who the company that is asking you to come and do the investment, go into it with just a portion of your money. So that if you lose it, fine, it's like gambling. So I tell people, divide your investment to 3. You put a portion into a more secure one, a portion into mid-risk investment, and a portion into high-risk investment. So if the high-risk one, because the high-risk one brings more returns, but at the same time, you can lose everything. So you should structure in such a way where you are putting just a portion, and if you make profit from it, pull it out and put it into other things. This is very important that we go into any form of investment with this understanding. Don't say because, because the mistake we make is that we always say, who is recommending that investment? Is he a pastor? Is he a clinical? Meanwhile, we're not looking at the interest level, the risk level.
Involved, yeah.
Okay. Yes, so you should always look at the risk level. How much are they promising me? The more the return, the higher the risk. Okay, the more the return, the higher the risk. So those are the things you need to look into. It doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. It just simply means that you should only put a portion into it if it's a very high risk investment. But in most cases, if you want to do it like I advise you, let it be the type that they can promise you that if you can't pay your money, we'll give you land. At least you now know you have not lost two ways. Yeah. If they couldn't give you cash, you have land. You can keep the land and then later sell it or find a way to sell it and get back your money. So those are some of the things you need to look
So now
into.
let's come into in order for us not to dwell too much on that, because I know you have 5 business plans for us in real estate this afternoon. Yes. So I want to get on with that. So maybe we should start with that.
Okay, good. So we have looked at the first one we looked at, we said buy a house. The second one we looked at, we say you can buy a rental property. You can do that anywhere in the world where you buy it as a mortgage and then you rent it out and you make sure you are making more from the rental than what you're paying. Then the third one we say is even good for people in diaspora. You can go into a real estate investment trust where you put in your money and then your money keep working for you, because all the rich men in the world, this is one of the ways they make money. They're able to make money while they are sleeping. They put in their money, or the company works for them and they get return. Then the fourth way you can also make money, and this is also good for Nigerians in diaspora, is called real estate flipping. Okay, and under this we have 2. We have house flipping and land flipping. I have a friend, for example, who was able to buy a particular property in Lekki Phase 1 for 350 million and then renovated it. And in 40 days, was able to sell it for 750 million. Wow. It was a house in distress. It was a distress sale. There's something called distress sale. If you're going to do flipping, you do distress sale. Now, distress sale is when somebody really need money urgently. It may be for health reason. It may be for whatever reason. So the person is ready to sell far, far below the normal price,
market price
of that property. Yes, the market price. So you buy it because you have liquid. This one is very capital intensive. So you buy because you have the liquid and then, do 1 or 2 renovations, put it back in the market. It's usually, a matter of weeks. You are trying to make sure you flip it in maybe 3 months and then you make almost 100% of your money back. You move into another investment. Wow. In fact, this particular friend of mine has grown. That 350 million was his initial capital. In 3 years, he has grown his initial capital to over 5 billion today, just practicing flipping.
Wow.
And then that's for house flipping. Then you can do land flipping. Land flipping gives you the highest form of returns. However, it takes a little bit more time. The maturity period can take between 5 to 10 years. Wow. Okay, when you are going into land flipping. So how do you do land flipping? You look for areas that are about to develop. In Lagos, for example, we have Ibeju-Lekki, we have Ikorodu, we have Badagry, we have Shimawa, which is the outskirts, we have Aton. These are some areas that are growing fast, that, things are moving around those areas in terms of construction, in terms of, developments and all of that. You go buy those areas now when they are nothing, when the whole thing looks like a bush. One of the things, my brother, here that is good with this conversation we're having, people need education. The reason why people have lost money investing in Nigeria is because of lack of education.
Proper information.
We don't first get proper information.
The real education about what they want to invest in,
Yes. Sometimes we say somebody is your consultant. You say he's a lawyer. He himself doesn't even have 1 plot of land anywhere. And then you say he's your consultant. I mean, Yoruba will say, that's right. I always tell people, when you want to invest in real estate, look for somebody who has gotten results in real estate to give you counsel. And I'm open to give as many people counsel, whether you are buying from us or you're not buying from us. I will later give you how you can reach me in person, and we get to do a Skype conversation and just look at your option and give you advice. But it's important that you get advice. Don't just say, I'm just buying property, I'm just putting millions, and you don't even have an idea. At least, like I said, go see the land. You can join us, for example, tomorrow. Even if you can't make it tomorrow, maybe you are not in Nigeria, you can send your family members or your friend to follow us and take pictures and be there and give you feedback, because it's good for you, to have an idea and not say, oh, one bamio, I was duped to this, and at least see where you are
this
buying,
this issue
or
of
get
land,
the picture.
this issue of land, my brother,
Yes,
that is a serious thing, for people who are living outside Nigeria. The moment you start making little
yes, it
money,
is.
they start calling you, family members, friends,
Mm,
associates, and other people.
mm,
They'll start calling you. Come, you better
mm.
invest your money on land. Invest your money on land. If and people have lost quite huge amount of money to this over the years. So,
Yes,
but these days, people are
very
yeah,
true.
people are getting
Yeah,
to understand a little bit better now, and but
yeah.
unfortunately, some of them don't have the capital anymore, but they still love to
Mm,
do this genuinely. So, listening to someone
mm,
like you may rekindle their hope, and then possibly inquiries, questions, and all that will bring them back. So that's why this is very important for all of us, especially my friends on Mayegun'S Diary here. So please continue.
mm. Yes, I agree with you absolutely. People have been swindled, they've lost a lot due to lack of education and information in this
Mm.
area. But what I advise is get advice, get consultant, get people to advise you, ask all your questions before you drop any money for saying you want to buy any property. But one important thing I also need to state here before I go ahead with other
Yeah.
conversation is that please, please, when you want to do real estate investment, number one, don't buy land from Omonile.
Oh, I just want to talk about them now.
Rather deal with, yes, rather deal with a credible registered real estate company. And the reason is because if you deal with a company is a registered entity that you can take to court.
Mm,
The court can even freeze their asset.
mm.
Okay, but when you buy from Baba Lati, that eventually just suddenly dies, and then he said he wrote a will, he divided the property between three wives, and then one other wife say it was us they gave the land to, and then the other wife come again and start fighting themselves. There's little you can really do with that. But when you have done business with a registered company, you can, if issues don't go the way you want, you can go to court. And I tell people, feel free to go to court,
Hmm.
right? Once it's a registered company. And that's the advantage of buying land from real estate company. Number two, buying land from real estate company that are credible anyway, because it doesn't mean there are no fake real estate
That's
company,
right.
is that you also enjoy protection on your land. You don't need to fence it. They will eventually fence the whole estate. Like the one of today now is is already fenced round. So they will eventually end up fencing the whole estate. They will make sure they protect the land for you. And you will have, once you do your documentation, even if it's 10 years later, 20 years later, you get back to the land, your land
It's
is there
there. That's
because they have bought a larger, yes, expanse of land. So it's their duty to, make sure that they guide the interest of everybody who has invested with them. That's why we call it real estate investment. So when you are doing land flipping, it's an investment. Unfortunately, my brother, people want to buy in Banana Island, they want to buy in Lekki Phase 1, they want to buy in Omole, Magodo, and they don't have the money. They think Nigeria is still that much of a bush, like when they left 20 years ago. All these areas you are talking about are big places. Let me give you, for example, some shocking prices.
Wow.
You will see Nigerians in the diaspora, and that's why they've been duped. We tell you that Mufe Rale Leko, and then
Yeah,
million,
I don't know what happened there.
you
I
know.
think our network. Yeah,
Okay, I'm
great.
back.
You're back.
Yeah, I'm back.
Sorry, eh? So you wanted to
Yes,
tell us about
no
people
problem.
buying land, and then you just froze. So let's continue from there.
Yeah. So you will hear people saying like, I want to buy somewhere in Ikeja or Lekki for 2 million, 3 million. And then if you are meeting an expert, it will just burst into laughter.
Hmm.
Because first of all, there is no land in Ikeja that you can get less than 50 million.
Wow.
I mean, let's get these prices straight
Hmm.
up. If you want to get land in Lekki Phase 1, Phase 2, you need to have between 100 million and 200
Wow.
million. You want Magodo, you need to have about 100
A
million.
plot.
So it's because we don't even have an idea of the cost price. That's why people duped us.
Hmm.
So I remember a story of this woman. She's based in Dubai, and she said she got this place in Aja for 8 million. And I remember I kept telling her, you can't get a place in Aja with proper document for 8 million. She said, no, it was favor. And we like to spiritualize everything in Nigeria. It was favor.
Yeah.
It was, God just favored me. Those people, I just got it for them from cheap. I tell people, I say sometimes an average Nigeria he wants to scam. So is who scam who first?
Yeah. And then who is scam that screamed out? Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. If would our politicians do the same to us, There's always about. So I told her, I said, you can't get land in Aja for 8 million. At the end of the day, she got the place. She was about starting construction when they told her that is under government acquisition, that a big express road will be passing through that same place. So she came back. Yeah, that same place she got, and she paid a lot of money for. So she got back to Mr. Steven. What it buy me? What it buy me? I said, look, what are you? I said, what are you talking about? I told you that you can't get somewhere in Aja for 8 million that has C of O, that is proper documentation. And this is very, very important that we get all this conversation correctly, and these issues are very much discussed and properly.
People well educated about them,
Yeah, yes. Know your pricing, knows how much it costs and all of that. Another advantage, really, the estate will eventually do road. It may take 5 years or 10 years for them to do that, but they will do road, they will do lighting, they will do. So with all this advantage, your lot, at good proportion in terms of being able to do business with a property real estate company, and for me, I think that is one of the good things. So when you do real estate flipping, you buy it, leave it for 5-10 years, and then you sell it. We've had stories of people who bought a land for as little as 2 million, and then 10 years later, the property was over 50 million. Wow. In fact, the last training we had in Lagos, a man was sharing how he bought a place in Arepo for just 250,000 naira per plot. And as we speak now, each plot is 12 million.
In Arepo?
Per plot. Yes, wow. in Arepo years ago. So that's how to practice real estate flipping. So you buy it when nobody is even looking at the place, but it has future, it has prospect. Let me give you some amazing facts that people do not know about real estate. Real estate is Sogbedigboro. It's actually Sogbedigboro. Look at Ikeja. Many in the 70s, in the 60s, many people don't know that Ikeja used to be bush. Okwebi used to be ritual killers den. True story. In fact, when Jack Conde was building all this MK Abiola garden in Ikeja, I met civil servants who said they used to laugh and say, who would go and live with Jack Conde in that bush? I'm telling you, the city of Lagos used to be Ojuelegba, Mushin, Surulere, Yaba. Those were like the main city of Lagos that people used to say, yes, we're in the city. But today, those places that they used to call bush, that's why they situated the airport in Ikeja. It was all bush. That was where there was land. So all bush. Today, look at what that same Ikeja has become. Wow. So I tell people that you cannot make money in real estate if you don't have foresight, if you don't have vision.
Wow.
If you don't, and these are some of the things that a lot of these pastors realized earlier and have taken advantage of. Do you know that Redeem Camp that today was bought for 6,000 naira?
I remember.
For the major first set of acre.
I remember that.
Yes,
I even know
6,000 naira.
Today they are everywhere.
Yes, 6,000 naira.
They are more than a whole city now.
Yes, 6,000 naira. The same thing Pastor Paul Adefarasin did where their church is now. He bought that whole place for about 10 acres for 25 million. 10 years later, that place was worth 3 billion. Wow. 10 years later. I'm telling you. So, it's, again, for me, one of the things I say is unfortunate that a lot of pastors don't share some of these things. They just only teach us how to go to heaven or pray for us or kill witches. But they know some things when it comes to real estate
side of it. They are not teaching it.
Yes.
Telling their people that listen, you may not have money now. Go into real estate. In 10 years, in 15 years, You're going to love this.
Yes.
Keep your money. Do this. And probably
Yes.
today we'll have richest, church members and all that. No, now let's come back to our discussion on, how to, be part of this and all that. So we've heard of property flipping, land flipping, and then all these things require huge investments on its own. I've heard 100 million, millions and millions and all that. And I know that our real target are those who knows that real estate is a real business investment, and they just need the guidance, the information on how to go about it. You know what I mean now? So what are other variables? What are other other chances of still being part of a real estate business, without bringing in so much money, like because sometimes you can actually attract these investors without holding so much money yourself. I want to believe that, and it's your area. So without bringing in each of
Yes, I'm gonna mention two areas now that you can also do. Number one is you can do what we call flexible interest. Okay, you can do flexible payment. One of the ways all of us have been able to acquire property was not by having so much. It was to start small. You do flexible payment. A lot of times, even those of us who have estates, it's not as if we paid all the property at once. It's usually you pay in installment. And you too can do the same, where you look at, particularly when you're dealing with real estate companies. So the land is, let's say, 2 million. You can tell them, can I be paying $250, $500 every month till I finish paying? Okay, and that's really one of the ways to build wealth. What you will realize is that by the time you are done paying, the value of that land had even gone up.
That's right.
So what you started with at 2 million, and they will peg it for you. Once you start doing the flexible payment, they will peg it for you. Meanwhile, by the time you are done paying, it will have amount to maybe 5 million. I know some of our customers in our Ibejileki property who started paying when it was 2.5 million. Right now, it's currently 8.3 million.
Wow.
And they just finished paying. So others who are just paying now are having to pay 0.3 million. Meanwhile, they actually paid 2.5 million and they spread it for almost 2 years. Wow. So you can work with some companies and say, look, can you allow me be doing this thing gradually? So there are processes to it. You do them in mail and all of that. But you can do that. And it's one of the good ways to gradually begin to secure. It's also a safe way, because at least you are also checking.
Well, how do we differentiate between reliable companies and those that are not, that are frauds? Because people are afraid. I've had people pay into a scheme like this before, and then when it's time for them to get their CFO, they've paid all, they've done all of that, but only for them to realize that there was no company selling the land. It was all fraud and the rest of that. So how do we differentiate? How can we recognize? What do we need to do?
No, one of the major ways is,
because this is what you do.
Why?
Yeah, if the answer is staring us on the face right now, why don't you just go to that direction now? That okay, if you want to do this and this and this and that, what you need to do, talk to me. Let's do that.
Okay. So you guys can feel free to visit www.gtexhomes.com. That's our website. You can send email to info@gtexhomes.com.
That's right.
Okay, and you can call during Nigerian work hours.
The number is on the screen.
Do me a mail, info@stevenakintayo.com. Yeah. I think all that has been given to you, and those are my social media handles that Mayegun has done. So you can do a mail and book an appointment. We get to talk, look at your options. Why it's important, please, if you want to buy land, go to the place, look at the place. If you are not going to make it, send someone to help you go to the place, so that at least you can see the land, like you have said, so that it's not an issue of, I realized that there was no company at all. Another way to know a credible company is to go online. Google can do a lot of magic nowadays. I tell people there are 2 G's you need in your life: God and Google. Right? Google about
I like
the
that.
company.
So I need 2 G in my life. 2 G's.
Yes, God and Google.
Lovely.
So Google the company, Google the names of the owner. There must be a face to it. There are a lot of real estate companies that you don't even know who is the owner. Those are warning signs, right? Now that you know the owner doesn't mean you should go and be disturbing him every day. And personally, this are also one of the issues I'm beginning to get angry with some people about. That I know the owner of GT Bank doesn't mean every day I will go on GT Bank, Shego Agbaje social media and be disturbing him, or because I know,
I
but
deal with that
know them, at
every
least you
day,
know
and they
that.
said I don't reply messages. So sometimes hello with no attachment, they want, I understand. But we have
Yeah,
people who need this,
it
who are
can be
watching.
for yes, it can be
Yes,
frustrating,
sir.
because that's why sometimes some business owners don't put their face out there.
That's right.
But I think one of the ways to authenticate a company is to know those behind it and let them be there. At least you should have social media, and they should have, there should be people known in the society.
Yeah.
I tell people with all sense of humility, I've authored 33 books. You can go to right now.
Yeah.
Some people have started calling me. I'm using my phone
I
to do
know
this.
they've
Don't call,
started
just send me
phoning.
a text
That's another
or
flip.
do
That's why
WhatsApp.
I thought we could, hold on to it before the end. Well, that's to tell you that people are going to get back to you on this. But this before we go, I want to take you to another part of this discussion that we might be missing right now, and which is those who are watching us. Most of them are not in Nigeria, and they would love to know other business. I mean, what you call other investment opportunity in real estate all over the world. Yeah, sometimes they read about these things, they see flyers and all that, but they don't have knowledge about what it takes to take the advantage. Sometimes you feel like, am I going to invest in real estate in America when I don't live in America? Or should I invest in Canada just because the opportunity is there, but I don't live in Canada? So there are people who live in the UK who are so accustomed to buying properties here in the UK. There's a system, there's a mortgage system here that helps them to secure all of that. So now, watching you right now, there must be a takeaway for them, like to broaden their horizon. Is there any opportunity for them as well in this?
Yes, there are. If you want to start going to real estate as a business, the first thing I advise you do is go for training. Get a real estate mentor and go through their training program. There are several programs in the UK, in the US, even Nigeria. I too run several coaching programs. Let somebody coach you. It's not money you need, it's coaching that you need. Number two, subscribe to be a marketer for some of these companies. We are going to be starting real estate investment in the US. We want to start building houses and all that, even here in the US. But the current thing I'm doing now is going through training. Even though I'm a big guy in Nigeria, but because I want to invest in the US, I shouldn't come here and feel that, oh, we've done
we
good,
know what we
great
are
in
doing
Nigeria.
and all that.
I can just do it. I'm currently doing a course for 27,000 US dollars here in the US with a multi-billion-dollar corporation in real estate. So it's important to know that it's not money you need. And through that program, I've learned how source of funding, how I can get funding without even putting any money down. So it's important, if you want to go into real estate anywhere in the world, first of all, go through training. Then second of all, start by marketing. I have about 3 properties here in the US I'm currently marketing. Start by looking for some of these companies and say, okay, can I market for you? Can you give me commission? Like, we give 20% commission for anybody who market for us. In fact, we've raised millionaires right now from this program, people who are referring people to do business with us. And through that whole process, are able to make 3 million every month. We have a woman.
I hope I'm going to get referral payment, because if people start saying I heard from Mayegun'S diary, I will ask you for my 20%.
We have a registration process. Yes, if you register with us, yes, just visit www.gtexhomes.com/ambassadors. That's how to register. Once you are registered, if anybody buy through you, even if you are Mayegun, the Babolo,
so I can go to sleep and make money, just like
this. Yeah. So once you refer somebody to us, you get a commission. It's called www.gtexhomes.com/ambassadors. You can register. There are 3 registrations. We have The registration for $20, $75, and $150. You fill in your information. We'll give you a referral link. With that link, you can use to be giving people
and say, okay, talk to them. If everything works, remember this.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to do that.
And you get 20%.
I'm going to do that. Yeah, and I'm going to encourage many of us here to do that because I don't have a huge amount of money to put into this yet. I know there are guys, there are people watching us right now, and they're like, thinking like, well, this sounds good. Maybe I should give it a shot or something. So they're going to call you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So eventually, if the sales happens, remember my 20%. I will be looking for the referral as well.
Well, go and register.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going to do that.
Go and register.
Because some of them will not register follow my referral anyway. So, but they will follow this video to talk to you. So, let's talk more about the opportunity for them if they want to get involved in real estate abroad. Without having to be about.
Yes, if you want to get real estate abroad is big, and it's a very big business too. In the US, in the UK, in fact, one of the things I tell people is that if you live abroad, you need to take real estate investment very serious. It's unfortunate that many people in the US, in the UK, just focus on $20 an hour a job. $30 an hour, and are not even looking into the real estate industry in the US or in the UK. And it's one of the ways to become a millionaire, literally just like that. What you need, again, like I said, if you want to do here in the US or in the UK, just go online and, you just write, Google real estate agency in your country, okay? And then register, go to the office and register to become one of them. But before you now start selling one property, go for their training. Some of them have trainings. Some of the trainings starts free. Then later they start charging you, yes, here in the US and the UK. And then, the charges are enormous. Like this company I'm doing one of their trainings in the US. The first one was free. Then the next one was $1,600. Then the next one is $27,000. Wow. I don't know which one will be the next one after that.
The target.
The education. Yes, but the education you get from that is powerful. I must say this here that I'm disappointed. I don't live in the US or in the UK, but I have 4 businesses in the US. I have 2 businesses in the UK. The first time I came to the UK was for training. The next time I came was to register my business. And it's annoying that you will see people who reside in the UK, reside in the US.
And we don't know anything.
They've not registered any business in 10 years, in 20 years.
Before we need to get money, you need to have this lottery money, or you need to have this savings, you need to have this, all this something. Then the moment we have this money, we just remember Nigeria.
But my brother, they said if you want to put something in a book for a black man, if you want to hide anything for a black man, put it in a book.
That's a shame.
Our problem is we don't go for training. My accountant here, my CPA here in the US, I had a meeting with him some days ago, and he told me he went for a training in Austin here. This training was how you can, get interest at 3-digit, how you can, get contract from Texas government as a small business, running to hundreds of thousands of US dollars. Can I shock you? It was a free training, and he's the only black guy there.
Wow.
There were over 200 people. The only black, whether American black or Nigerian diaspora or African, he was the only black.
Wow.
Free training. If you want to hide a thing from a black man, put it in a book. The normal mindset, I come into a country, I must get a job. Good job. And we keep doing this job. We are not amounting to anything. You spend, the last training I did in the UK, because I do lots of training on business opportunities. Like I said again, those of you who are just watching us for the first time, go and watch the previous video we did on Mayegun'S family.
I'm going to find the video.
Maybe we also share it on this. Yes, go and watch. I spoke on 5 businesses you can do from the comfort of your home and make money. Some people will be telling me they don't have papers. When you're doing online business, you don't need papers. Okay, and these are business you can start with less than $1,000 and start making millions. The other day we even show screenshots of students that I've mentored who are in 4 weeks are making £7,000. Many of them used to tell me, "I'm shocked, Mr. Steve, I never heard of this." But the truth is this: quality information is not found on Facebook or on Google. You have to pay for it. The fact that, today we are able to hear this for free on Mayegun'S Diary does not mean it always happens. These are trainings you have to pay for. And when you don't like paying for trainings, when you don't like, the same Nigerians who will tell you they don't know the way to start a business, the same Nigerians, when Pasuma is in town, Obesere is in town, you see parties everywhere in London, in UK. Here in Houston is the headquarters of party, for Nigerians in diaspora. Wow. You see same Nigerians spend $50,000 on party. You say you are doing I tell people, I say, a wedding is for a day. Marriage is for a lifetime. You spend the whole of it. Let me tell you, my brother, the reason why a black man is poor is because he's wasteful. We need to begin to say something to ourselves. We are wasteful. As by nature, by default, we are wasteful. Do you know a research was done in 2014? In Nigeria alone, 495 billion naira was spent on recharge card by Nigerians. Wow. Majorly from poor and middle class families. Wow. It showed that they spend more money on recharge card than toothpaste, than on Maggi, than on tomatoes. I'm not kidding you. Just doing hello, Bele, Jide show Wambe, Befun Yinka, Befun Tunji, and for 1 hour, I do talk just hello, wasting money on recharge card. If some of us were to do our research right now, begin to write down what you spend money on for 1 month, you will know the Agbano that has been doing you. You are the Agbano. There's no demon from any village pursuing you to London or to UK. Wow. You are the Agbano that has been doing yourself because of the way you spend money. You see people, even this conversation we are discussing right now. I remember a story of one of my friend who is also a realtor. He met this lady in UK. She was saying, Niyi, you see, Emi only buying real estate investment. And Nigerians are late trust. Emi gold, ni man ra. At least every month, man, not £5,000. And she was, and the guy said, Madam, I won't argue with you. Out of this £5,000, Shelly ma da £500 similar. Eko ma da similar. Eko da similar. 1 year later, I will come back to you and tell you what I've done with the money. You say, okay, no problem. Me, £500.
Yeah, I know.
You don't this high life,
she has much.
Yes. So she started contributing the money into his hand. 1 year later, he brought a document of 1 acre of land that he has bought for her. I'm telling you, this woman now is a top real estate investor. She has sold all her trinkets, all her gold.
Everything.
Now she's a believer. Because we just keep saying, I tell people, risk is normal. Losing money is normal to becoming an entrepreneur. I have done almost 20 businesses that failed. I have lost money in my life, but that didn't stop me from doing business. Even before one of the businesses I did, I started with 1,000 naira. I've grown our company to billions today. Do we face challenges? Yes, we face. Do we make losses? Yes. It's normal to entrepreneurship. Donald Trump had bankruptcy 4 times.
That's right.
But let me say this. The reason why Africans are not growing financially is because we don't take risk. Even look at our children, the way we were raised. Hey, and that's why you are not seeing Africans as scientists. You are not seeing Africans as daring people, as Elon Musk, as the next Bill Gates, because these are people, look at all these people you admire. Even this Facebook we are using, this guy dropped out of school. Can you dare it in your father's house in Nigeria? They will not only will they use Koboko to cane you, they will carry you to Oli, they will wash your head in the river.
They would say, man, I've lost a son.
They'll say, well, you are a bastard. We're going to cast you away. This guy, Mark Zuckerberg, dropped out of school. Not just any school, Harvard. Just to say, you have found one business opportunity. I'll go and do it. And then we will be like, no. So an African man thinks that the best way to become rich is getting more degrees. And we pile up degrees. Some of you guys in UK, US, you have 3 masters now. PhD. Nigeria has been given the certificate as the most educated immigrants in the US.
That's right.
Can I shock you? They are still among the least, richest immigrants in the US. The Indians are ahead of us in wealth. Chinese are ahead of us in wealth. Immigrants, I'm not even talking about
the Americans there.
In wealth. They're ahead because, even the Pakistanis in the US are ahead of Nigerians or Africans in wealth. Go to some of these smaller stores in the US. They are owned by Chinese, Pakistanis, Indians. In London now, the mayor of London is from Indian descent. You know why we can't replicate that, even though our population is massive? Because we are not united. We must fight ourselves every day. We must abuse ourselves every day. Once one of us start rising, we will pull him down. You know, one woman was sharing with me in London how there used to be a market. I don't know whether you know the market in London by Nigerians. That it was almost like a Ladipo. You know, big Nigerians had big stores there. That
Peckham,
you know how the market ran down
for us. In London, that's
yeah.
You will meet Nigerians.
I was told that
your your longer lost relative. You may find him in London,
yeah,
in that area.
You will find him in London.
Honestly,
I was told that there used to be this big store, like a market. You would think you're in Balogun, and that you know how they started bewitching each other. Today you will go there, you will see ritual.
Exactly.
They'll put it beside somebody's shop. Tomorrow they'll put another ritual. I'm told today now those areas have been taken over by Indians. All those things are shut down now. And it's because, we just, and I think it's the slavery method. That's why, let me say the truth, we still need to be compensated by by the Queen and her people.
For us.
Yeah, because it's still here in the mind. There's no more physical slavery, but there's still that in our mind, it's still there. A slave must, in the years of the slavery, you have to fight each other now to survive.
To prove who is loyal, who is
more
who is more
loyal to the master. And we are still continuing that way till tomorrow. We fight each other, we break each other, we don't cooperate with each other. We're afraid to take risk. I tell people I've seen a lot of
the reason why people don't want to take risk most of the time is, if I fail, what is my neighbor going to say? They will mock me. They will say, and it's time for us to get over that. Like you have been saying, there's a lot to do together. Yeah, the opportunity is there, and you can't get there without working with your brother. So I'm with you on that.
Yeah. I always say this. I have never met a rich man that has not lost money before. But I've met plenty poor people that have never lost money before. That's why they never made money. I have never, and I'm saying it again, I've never met a single rich man who has not lost money before. But I've met several poor people who will say, hey, Amy, I tell people, it takes being smart to be poor. Yeah.
That's deep.
It takes being smart to be poor. I'm telling you, because you are very smart, no bother lose I mean, here am I on
dupe me.
Here am I on your here am I on your program. It's a sponsored program we've never met before. I chatted you up. I want to come and talk about what I do. And payment was made, right?
Without
now,
saying,
the mindset of
you make payment without having to be like, hello, are you there? Yeah, sorry.
Again, please don't call me.
Someone is calling you there, right? So I said, even at that, you saw the potential in us, and you made inquiry. Then eventually, you even make the payment without having to say, hey, what if they steal my money? What if this or that? And today we are trying to run that. You know what I mean now? So
yeah, that's the point that a lot of us, even after seeing, right? I have over 100,000 people on my fan page. One of the most insulting question people ask me and I don't reply is that how can I trust you? And I just be like, are you kidding me?
That should be the question. Can you trust me?
I mean,
so it's that mentality, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still that same mentality. Literally, we are so afraid that we even see the right thing up front like this. We still say, sure. And And I tell people, do you know, can I shock you, my brother? Most of what we call scam has been, behind it was greed, behind it was lack of research and not a scam. Or in some cases, poor customer service. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. An average Nigerian think you have scammed him because he paid you money and he didn't hear from you for 1 hour. You have scammed. Scam me one. You know what is scam? What is bad? And I'm saying that mentality is behind the poverty chain we are having. Because for you to build wealth, you have to be more open. You have to be more open. I've done businesses with people running to 20. Yeah,
sorry.
I've done businesses with people running to 20 million, 50 million. I have never seen them before. And I've had people do business with me too, running to 30 million, 50 million. We have never met till today. And I'm saying that if you carry that mindset, it is you that it is hurting. I don't know whether you understand. Because the day a great opportunity comes, you will still carry that doubting mindset, you know, to the business. And I'll give you an example. It doesn't mean I've not lost money. In my bulk SMS business that I started with 1,000 naira, 2015 alone, we did over 100 million, you know, consulted for Buhari, Ambode, you know, Jonathan, and all of that. That same year, I lost 10 million to a European company in that same bulk SMS business. And can I shock you, Mr. Mayegun?
I'm with you.
I got into, I lost 10 million because 10 million SMS were sent. He didn't deliver. My own client, I had to refund them. So I called these European partners I had. They came to my office. They had tea. They even drank tea. Hello, Mr. Steven, how are you? And then they brought in paper. I said, we can't do refund. You know, your company had DND. I mean, your country, they introduced DND. DND means do not disturb. So MTN just did DND for almost all MTN lines. So when you send message to MTN line, it will not deliver. My own customer asked me to do refund. I was forced to do refund. Question
Sorry,
I have for you, my brother.
We keep Mr. Steven keep having, you know, you keep having people calling and calling. We are the tail end anyway. So continue.
Yes. So the question I have for you, Mr. Mayegun, if that transaction was between two Nigerians, what do you think will have happened?
Facebook, number one, they will message you. Possibly you are still trying to find out how to solve the problem and you are yet to reply. Then they will say, I've been messaging him for 2 hours now, 3 hours. Then the next thing, my brother, they will call Mayegun. People like them call me. They say, Mayegun, see, I have a message for you. There's this 1419. It's very, very popular on Facebook. It's been duping people. They are very good at that. Sorry, I think you are still being disturbed. So I don't know. Yeah, I think you're still having some disturbance there, you know. So
yeah, but I'm hearing you. but you know, these are the things we're saying we need to start educating ourselves. The difference between scam, between fraud. You know, I had an experience where I was on a show like that, and somebody just was typing, "Don't trust that man, no, he's a scammer, he's a scammer." So my host after the show now said, "What happened?" She said, "I paid their company 120,000 for website. They did not do my website." So I had to call the office and then I researched. So they told me it was that woman that brought shoe for us. Now there was this woman. I was in the office. I noticed that my web designer, they brought shoe for him. So the woman was a client. She just brought shoes. And I said, "What happened?" He said, "This guy has done a good job. You know, every time I keep asking him to do something, he's doing it. So I brought shoe for him." So I said, "So what now happened?"
Now she's calling
the
me
person
for
was bringing shoe for you. He's not calling me for that. He said the woman kept bringing more content for us to keep changing the website. And our company, yes, and our company policy is that you can change the content twice. Once at the third time, you have to pay for changing the content. She had brought it 5 times. That was even why apparently she was bringing shoe that day.
To bribe everybody, make everybody feel comfortable.
To bribe everybody. So at some point, the guy refused to do anymore. So she went on like saying, "Don't scam you." But I mean, so we need to understand the difference. And I think it's because of our political experiences where we don't even just understand, if you have gone to a company's office, they have an office, they have customer care, you can't call them scams.
Exactly.
If you even think you have issue with them, take them to court.
That's right.
So Buba want issues. So that's why we don't trust each other. So I'm saying that behind most of the issues
that people
normally
come up with
scam,
is just like bad customer service or miscommunication, misunderstanding through. I get that.
Yes, that we need to just sort out, but our aggressive nature. I remember meeting somebody here in the US. He said, "You are the first Nigerian I've ever met who is not this aggressive." So you people are too aggressive, very aggressive.
Angry. We are always angry. Exactly. We are coming from Angaland, not Nigerland. Angaland.
He said, "Calm down." He said, "I used to tell Africans, calm down, calm down." Because, for example, this real estate we are talking about, if you are going to go into real estate business and you have a customer, please learn not to be aggressive with them. I'm talking about you are trading in the US and the UK. Once you get aggressive to a real estate customer, particularly when they are white, they are not going to do business with you. If you like, call it racism. They will not, just, being infuriated a bit and being aggressive a bit. You just have to keep be quiet, be patient. Okay, ma, they said, "Oh, I checked the house. I don't like the painting." Okay, change the painting before I come back. Okay, go and even, go and change the painting. You say you are going to give them a coupon for discount. They will say, "I want to see the coupon first before I pay." Don't say, "What's wrong with you?" I say, "I'll give." If you just get aggressive, the deal is
or you
off.
lose it, or you feel like they are being unruly towards you, they are being disrespectful, because we have customers who can be very disrespectful as well. And if you're having a bad day, every of their disrespect or whatever will turn to something else to you. And like you said, the anger and all that. So we're gonna bring this to an end. But I always love to have a takeaway, a giveaway. And in this, at this point, I'm going to ask you to give us two takeaways. Number one, you're going to tell us what it's going to take to be part of this, as an investor or as a trainee, and then, stuff, how they can be part of this in Nigeria, how they can be part of this abroad. We know that the world is now like much more closer than before. So which means with all the contact details you've published out there, they will always get to you. But as a takeaway from you directly, how can they be part of this in Nigeria, in the UK, in the US, all over the world, and how they can get to you, and when they can get a hold of you, where and when, Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much again for having me. So if you want to go into real estate, the first thing you want to do is to get somebody to be your advisor or your real estate consultant, give you some tips, give you some ideas, and then you review them and you take your decision. That's the first step. Get somebody who has result. I'm not talking about necessarily being a lawyer. Let the person have result and let the person put you through, discuss, ask your question, ask as many questions as possible. And that's the first step. And if you want to do this with me, feel free to chat me up, +1 6464 273 Just send me a WhatsApp message with your request and I'll personally attend to you. And give you some ideas. I can even book an appointment to advise you and give you some counsel. And I think that's a starting point. Then if you want to do real estate outside Nigeria, look for a credible real estate agency, subscribe to their programs, go through their training courses, and then you can subscribe to be their marketer before you start buying properties. I've met Nigerians here in the US who told me I used to have 10 properties before, and I came out, I lost all my money, and everything didn't work. And I tell people the reason why that happened was because they did not go for training. Okay, so please, I want to beg everyone to first go for training before you say you are going into becoming a realtor. Right? You can make good money in real estate, even in the US and the UK. You can start buying property and flipping them. You can start buying, get some mortgages and renting them out. but don't do it without getting a consultant, a mentor, a training, because that's what we do. Because we have access to facilities, we loan money, we spoil our credit, we just go buy the property. Nobody's training us. And I think it's high time that Africans begin to place priority on training, please. It's high time we begin to place priority on training. And when I mean training, informal training, sir. Okay, we are good with getting degrees, but that era is gone. That was the industrial era. In the industrial era, the more degrees you have, the more promotion you get. That era is gone. Most industry are replaced by robots. Okay, most workers are replaced by robots. In this age, information age, what makes you rich is the quality of information you have at your disposal. And usually it's not in the university. All the big business owners that you admire, Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, were all dropouts. Bill Gates later went back to school. Sir Richard Branson never went to university. A lot of people, in fact, I still watched an interview recently when he was saying that he was thinking of maybe he should go back to university. And the wife said, my friend, stop that thinking. You like those fine girls. You want to go and play with all those fine girls. My friend, get back to your business. Most of the people, you will be shocked that the top corporations that we all admire, the owners were dropout or never even went to school. Okay, and the definition of insanity by Albert Einstein is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Begin to look for people who are entrepreneurs, go and understudy them. Okay, if they have seminars, go and attend their seminars, go and attend their training. I'll be in London on the 27th at St. Pancras Renaissance Hotel. I have a training, it's not going to be free. You can chat me to ask for the details. But start going for trainings, informal education, people who have results, let them show you the way. Let them show you the way. Do you know that there's no American president that has ever become a president without understudying another president, including the Donald Trump that we are talking about today? No American president has ever become president without understudying another one, informally, not by going to school. So the same thing, you can't become wealthy without studying some rich people and going under their tutelage and learning the process. For me, those are the I stopped losing money in business when I picked up that route. Any business Akintayo will go into, I first get a mentor. I will ask him, what do I need to pay? Do I need to pay you in money or do I need to pay you in time? Paying in time means you work for the person, right? Paying in money means you pay for you to learn that thing. But since that time, I have stopped losing money in business. Look at even Cosmos Maduka of Charis. This is a man who never even went to school before. And those who work with him have first-class degree. He said, you remember when he was young, they used to call him shop rat. At 18, Cosmos became a millionaire because he understudied his boss. He was learning under somebody doing apprenticeship. Now he has more money than even those who have PhD. They are all working for him. So we need to understand that in learning wealth, in learning money, in learning finances, they don't teach it in Harvard. That's right. They don't teach it in the university. You have to understudy somebody else who understands how it is to make money, the processes, and learn from them and be faithful learning from them. They are not going to be perfect human beings, but learn from them, and in no time you will become successful. Same thing has happened to me. All the successes I've enjoyed today in my life, I learned it by understanding people, by observing people, by looking for mentors in those businesses. Some of them I paid to learn from them. Some of them I worked to learn from them informally. Okay, I'm going to do something for you in exchange. You show me this, business model. And my own mentor in real estate, I keep saying it publicly, I never paid 1 naira to him, but I taught him digital marketing because I've been a digital marketing consultant. I've had to consult for top multinational, Chivita, GT Bank, name it. And I had to give him that exchange for learning real estate. In fact, incidentally, that's why I tell people training is what you need. When you go through training, you realize that you don't even need money. Through the help of this man, he had 200 acres somewhere. He gave me 50 acres. I said I should be paying him as I sell. That was how I started real estate. I didn't start with 1 naira. So, but when you don't go through training, right, you try to do it your own way. You even bring all your money. I know people have lost hundreds of millions in real estate and achieved nothing.
That's right.
Because instead of going to look for somebody and say, okay, let me pay to learn this thing from you. They think they know it all. And
exactly, that they could manage, they could get through it and all that. Thank you so much, Mr. Stephen Akintayo. It's a wonderful pleasure having you here, even though we struggled to get this done at the end of the day. But I think we're getting there, and I'm having more of my friends here showing interest in business and not just politics. And for the fact that you are, a Nigerian is doing this.
And it's good for you, because we need to bring, politicians can't pay you to sustain this platform. A lot of people don't know how much it costs.
They don't.
So we need to have business people invest. And I want to encourage people, you can bring your business on Mayegun'S Diary.
Thank you very much.
Great guys.
I like that. So I hope I'll see you again.
Somebody said I should repeat my phone number.
Yeah, so
that's a testimonial.
You can do that. We are at the end of the broadcast now, so you can reintroduce your contact again for the last time before we go.
Yeah, so to reach my company, please note again, this is a company you are dealing with. Yes, you are meeting the MD, but it is a company. I'm saying this again now. So there are people involved. You can call them. You can discuss with them. Any discussion with me is not an official discussion, except you discuss it with the office. Any discussion with me is an advice, okay, which I am open to give you advice in terms of investment and all of that.
That's right.
You still need to talk to the people in our office, and to talk to our office, info@gtexhomes.com, info@gtexhomes.com, or call 080-930-75-999, 080-930-75-999. Our website is gtexhomes.com. But if you want to talk to me for advice, for counsel, which I charge for, but I'm going to make free for all of you on Mayegun'S Diary, whatever advice you want as relates to real estate, I will give it to you. +1 6464 273317. Okay, and you can email info@gtex@stephenakintayo.com. Please do this with all form of courtesy, like Mayegun has said. Some of us also, because we feel we want to do business with somebody, we can be so saucy and
all that. Exactly.
If
you want a response.
Yes, any conversation with me is a counsel, is an advice. You are seeking advice. You want to buy land from our company, just talk to our company direct. Send an email to info@gtexhome, call the office number and talk to them.
That's right.
Okay, but I'm giving you my numbers and my contact details if you want an advice. That is, I want to start real estate in the US or UK, or I want to even invest in Nigeria, or me, I don't want to buy land. I don't believe in this land thing. Can I put in some money and get interest? If you want to do any of that, you can chat me up. I charge for this. Yes, my now is $1,000. Because yes, there are a few billionaires in Nigeria who are open to teaching people and telling people the secrets they have, because I want to share you. Even if you want to tell me, Mr. Steve, I want to start my own real estate in Nigeria too, show me the way. I can coach you. I'll give you advice, right? A lot of people don't do it, but I decided to do it because I have a vision to raise 1 million entrepreneurs, and I have a vision to send 1,000 kids to school. We are currently doing our bursary program, and that is another thing I want to chip here. Anybody in Nigeria from very poor homes, my bursary program is on the 8th of September. We're awarding some kids, giving them a check to go to school. Last year we did 150 kids. This year we're doing 1,000 kids. So just visit www.stephenakintayo bursary, stephenakintayo.com/bursary. They are to fill the form, and our team, we have a committee in charge, and they'll get back to them. Please, you don't need to contact me. Some people have been contacting me for bursary. I'm not in charge of selecting people. I don't want to know anybody. Once they meet the criteria, we award them. So for I'm not done. So please, that's why you see me come in public. A lot of entrepreneurs don't do it, right? The reason why I do a lot of this public talk, I'm raising 1 million entrepreneurs. That's my vision. I believe if we want to change Nigeria, we need to teach more Nigerians on business. That's the only way they can also go into politics and run politics like a business. If anybody can run Nigeria as a business, Nigeria will work. The second vision I have is to raise send 1 million kids to school before I leave this earth. And that's why you're seeing me do this. And please, let's not take it for granted.
Thank you so much. I'm quite happy to have finally met you and then to do this together. So I hope I will see you again. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Problem. You have a beautiful day.
You too. Thank you
Bye.
so much.